Hey guys, welcome to DevOps School. In this video tutorial, we are going to teach you about Jenkins, which is a very popular continuous integration tool. After going through this tutorial, I promise you that the concept and understanding of the Jenkins will be absolutely clear to you. But before we begin, let me inform you few things about us. DevOps School is one of the leading platforms which offers DevOps, cloud and containers technology training and certification programs for freshers and established professionals who wish to update and consolidate their skills in the dynamic IT scenario. We ensure that the training solutions are delivered by highly experienced domain experts with practical working experience in various verticals. You can join our all training programs globally through online platforms, and if you're looking for classroom workshop, then we have regular batches available in Hyderabad and Bangalore. Check out the dates and enroll with us for our upcoming batches. For more info, link and contact details are mentioned in the description below.
Okay, so first question is, what is Jenkins? Okay, so we call it Jenkins is a CI tool. Our next question is, what is CI tool? What is CI? So basically CI stand for continuous integration. Okay, now question is again, what is continuous integration? Okay, that is an important question. So continuous integration, in order to understand the continuous integration, you have to understand this flow. Okay, if you go to the any path here, see what we do. We do the planning and we use some tools like Jira. We do the programming, Java, versioning. We use again tools, code analysis, again tools, build management, again tools, unit testing, package management, repository management, deployment, acceptance testing, code coverage, and code coverage. So all these things, we use so many tools. So do we have one tool which can integrate with all these tools? Do we have any one tool? So that is, we have a continuous integration tool. Tools like Jenkins, Snicker, Bamboo, TeamCity, Travisai. These tools helps us to integrate everything from here to here at one place, at one dashboard, one common tool get integrated. So rather than we talking to each tools, here we get everything integrated at Jenkins. So that's the reason we call it Jenkins is a CI tool, continuous integration tool. So if you start from here, let's say coding, then we do the code review, review, and after that typically we build it. We do the UT also, unit testing. We do the packages, right? After that we packages deploy to QA environment, then deploy to various environment, acceptance testing, code coverage, and then finally, if everything succeeded, then we do the releases. Okay, at each point, code review, build, UT, package. At each point, we want immediate feedback. Why we want immediate feedback? So if let's say code review is failed, so we want immediate feedback. Build is failed, we want immediate feedback. UT is failed, we want immediate feedback. Fail or pass, anything we want immediate feedback. Why do we want the immediate feedback? So if you get immediate feedback to any failure out here, team can fix those issues as soon as possible, and then the wastage in the DevOps can be avoided. So immediate release can happen, very efficiently. So we need immediate feedback for everything. We need immediate feedback. We need integration of all tools, and we need scheduling also, scheduling capability. So these are the features which we want. Again, tools where we can integrate everything, tools where we can get immediate feedback, of everything, tools where we can have a scheduling functionality and reporting functionality. These functionality we get at one place, and that is called Jenkins. Okay. So here if you see, for the coding we use get, for Sonarqube we use for the code review, build we probably use Maven, for UT we use unit testing like a JUnit and stuff like that. Packaging we use jar, var, EAR. Deploy to QA we use Ansible, Puppet. Acceptance testing we may use Selenium. Code coverage you may use Jacoco. Again, all these tools which I have mentioned here, again, it's not a complete list, but you can understand that whatever we do in SDLC cycle, we use a lot of tools at the different teams, different phases of SDLC cycle. So we need to have one tool where we all can, collaborate together for integration, feedback, scheduling, and reporting. So now this is a Jenkins. Is that okay? Any doubts here? Any doubts?
No, Rajesh.
Okay. So now the question is, what else? So Jenkins is free. Okay, Jenkins is free. Jenkins is open source. By the way, in terms of releases, there are two releases. One is community version, which is free anyways, which I'm going to cover, community, and then another one which we have enterprise. So basically, this is from Cloudbase. Okay, this is a Cloudbase. Now the difference between so we have a community which is free, okay, and this is enterprise from Cloudbase and it's a paid. Okay. Now one of the important thing which we have in Jenkins is empowered with plugin concept. So what is a plugin? So plugin is a way to enhance the functionality of the tool. So without plugin, Jenkins is nothing. But with plugin, Jenkins is everything. Okay. So we have hundreds of plugins available and hundreds of plugins available, which makes Jenkins very unique, very powerful, let's say. Okay, so yes, this is a CI tool. It is a free, it is open source. It has a 2 version, community, free, enterprise from Cloudbase, which is paid. Empowered the plugin concept, 100 of plugins, is available. So which makes the makes Jenkins very powerful. So these are the few things which we have. Now this is also developed in Java. So if you know that if any tools is developed in Java, you need a JRE or JDK. So that is the stuff. So now we talked about what is Jenkins, and then we talked about what is a CI and how this Jenkins is helpful for us. So here integration is important. Jenkins with other tools. So now question is, why Jenkins? Why Jenkins? Again, some of the questions which we have mentioned here, we have so many tools here. So many tools. So need so many tools. So we need one to integrate with. Okay. Then again, we need immediate feedback. We discussed we need immediate feedback. We need some tool where we can scheduling of tasks. Okay, so we are not going to do the manual. We are going to get the notifications. All these thing, all these features which we want. So we need a Jenkins for it. So it's like a basically a team workplace. A team Jenkins has become a team work space, whatever. Okay. Now next question is other tool. What is the other tool? So other tools, if you look at my here, this page, here you have a Jenkins, Nexus, you have a Jenkins X also is coming, by the way. Bamboo, TeamCity, Travis. So many tools are there in this domain. Okay, which is which can be used if alternative with Jenkins. So that is, anyways, we have it. Now next question is how to install Jenkins. So first thing, in order to install Jenkins, we need a JRE. Okay, JRE, and we will go for the 8.x itself. But one thing, we are going to do the build activities also. Look at this. And for the build activities, we don't need a JRE, we need the JDK. Okay, development kit for the build UT packages. So we will go for the JDK option. So JDK 8.x, I will install it. Okay, after that, Jenkins can be installed in the different ways. Okay, so if you go to their website, jenkins.io, okay, and you click on the download button, and here if you go browse back, here you have long-term support and weekly support. Weekly support, as of now, we'll be having the most recent changes. Sometime it is not that much stable compared to long-term support. So let's go for the long-term support. And also you look at this, how can you install it? You look at this, you can deploy in Azure also, you can install through Docker also. We had already session on Docker, so you know that FreeBSD, Gentoo, Mac, OpenBSD, open source, Red Hat, Ubuntu, Windows, and WAR file you get it also, which you can deploy in the Tomcat independently. So if you have a Tomcat installation, you can directly deploy the WAR file, and this can be also used as a installation process. So now I'm going to teach you Red Hat, Fedora, and CentOS way. So click on it, and here all the instruction which you have it. Okay, here you can see that all the instruction. This is the 2 commands and this is the 3rd command. This is the way to install it using Yum. By the way, if you want to install the through RPMs, these are the RPM files which you can download as well. Now, these all instruction I have also documented in my tutorial, which is Jenkins. Okay, if you go here installation, here. So here all this instruction you can find it. So if you look at this here, prerequisite Jenkins installation and CentOS JDK installation, and then followed by the same commands which you have, how to start, stop, how to see that process running or not, all these things. So let's start follow. So now I'm going to get that machine first. So let's get it AWS machine. Okay, so EC2. And here I'm going to install, get RTL 7.5, 4 GB machine is okay for me, and 30 GB storage, that is more than needed, and add a tag here, name is Jenkins server, and get a security. I have open up all the ports. By the way, you look at this. So many people have posted the questions in the group saying that they are not able to access, and also you have to work with the security group concept very well. And then launch, and I have a keys which is Mumbai, so somewhere it should be. Rajesh Mumbai here. Acknowledge, launch. So this is a Jenkins server which I'm going to get it. So here this is the IP address. So Jenkins would be in this machine. Now let me log into this. Already I have a PPK, so I can use that. and APK is desktop keys. Open. And yes, let's me set all this stuff. Apply. It's taking time. What is that? So it has come now and apply. So I hope everyone can see my screen. So ec2-user and sudo, I'll become a root. That way I don't have to type sudo again and again. Now I'm going to install. I'll just follow this document. I will follow this way. This is the fastest way to install. So install wget, download jdk8 rpm. Next command. And finally install rpm. So in AWS download will be it's a matter of few seconds. So no waiting wastage.
Rajesh,
Yes, please.
I am using Mac. How is it difficult in Mac?
It's not a
Easy or
difficult at all. It's not a difficult at all. Just install JDK, Java Home, and then finally you get the packages from here. Go back and here Mac OS. Here you have all this stuff. Download
okay?
has started. So it will download DMG packages. You get it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now I install the Java. Let's validate. And here it is. Now after that, I'm going to add the repository where the Jenkins reside using this command. And then finally, this is the repository key. And then yum install Jenkins. Simple. So yes, I want to install. And now it's being installed. It will be installed in few seconds only.
Yes. Rajesh,
Yeah.
according to the industry, Jenkins is first or TeamCity.
Jenkins is the market leader, let me tell you, in a simple way. There is no replacement for Jenkins in a simple way.
Okay.
So TeamCity is there, Bamboo is there, UBuild is there, UBuild series is there, UBuild release, deploy and all. So it's there, but Jenkins is a market leader right now. Okay, so 1 minute to go. Meanwhile, let's get this one done. So now, so once we get the Jenkins, we'll have to configure it. So what I'm going to do, remember what we need. So if you look at this here, these are the tools we need. Here we need Sonarqube. Here we need Ansible. Here we need Jira. By the way, plan also is pending here. Plan. So Jira. We need Jira. So we need Jira here. So we need a Sonarqube, we need Ansible, we need a Jira. These three tools. Do we need any other tools? Yeah, we can use it. So now, and we need a Nexus also. Packaging, deploy to. See, there's one thing which got missed. Deploy to repo, right? Yesterday we had a session on Nexus, right? Nexus. So now look at this. Deploy to repo. So we need a Nexus here. So now let me set up these tools also quickly. So I think Jenkins got completed here. So let's get it confirmed. So now I'm going to get one 8 GB machine here where I can set it up many things. So here, Red Hat Linux, 8 GB machine, one machine, 100 GB hard disk, adding next tag name all CICD. Okay, next existing group, no firewall, review, launch, Rajesh Mumbai. And here, this will be having all the services. So we'll check it out. So now, by the way, my Jenkins got installed. So after that, once the Jenkins got installed, you have to stop, not start, because I'm doing the first time. So start. Now Jenkins, you wanna check the Jenkins is running or not. And here you see Jenkins is running. Now important thing is, if you look at this, here Jenkins home, if you look at this, var lib Jenkins. Where the jar file located var file, here it is. Log location, this is. Web cache location, daemon 8080 is runs, and then remaining options. So these are the informations. It's very useful to start using the Jenkins. So right now my Jenkins is here and Jenkins 8080 it's running. Now it says if you are the really owner of this Jenkins, there's a password lying here, go and get it. So I'll just go and get it, and here this is the password and I'm giving it. Now Jenkins has as I said, Jenkins is very powerful with plugins, and without the plugins Jenkins is nothing. So here they say if you know the plugins, if you want to install it, go ahead with second option, but they will also give you the suggestion install the suggested plugin. So basically install suggested plugin is the fastest way, because that way I don't have to choose and pick up the plugins. Yes, again, if you need some more plugins we can install later, but I'll go with the suggested plugins. Now it will take few seconds to get it or install all the plugins. You look at this progress bar, list of plugins which is being installed. So now next question is, meanwhile my Jenkins is being ready, let me also set it up all this stuff which we have to get it. So let's get started. I'm going to log into this machine now. Here, new machine, and auth. Here, ppk, open, yes, change setting color, and I want to change the font style as well. 16, click apply. Now ec2-user, and now sudo -s. Now if I want to install Jira into this, then what to do? Again, I'll go to the notes section, because Jira last week we had a class, right? So I can refer that notes. Installation instruction would be there. So that will be the fastest way to get it. So first thing, install Java, because that is Java based. Jira, installing quickly. So and here and here if you see, installing Java and then downloading the Jira file, bin file. Okay. Meanwhile, I'll check the status of plugin installation as recent progress. Parallelly, I'm doing that Jira installations also, so that way we can save some time. Okay. Meanwhile, Jira is being installed. Let me create another session and download it. So here I'll go and set up third tool which I needed, Sonarqube. If you go to Sonarqube notes, which is here, and any notes if you refer 2019, and I think this one, and here you have Sonarqube installation guide which is missing, so it must be in this way, and here I can find the Sonarqube. Again, here is not there, so let me go back, and here is also not there, and let me go back. Okay, Sonarqube is not there because of why? Okay, Sonarqube is not there because of it's not too much of installation process required. So exit. I am going to download this. Being a normal user, this is changed. So see, I have to get the Sonarqube, and download, and here copy the URL. So meanwhile, at wget I'll download the Sonarqube packages also. Okay, so now let's go back to the Jenkins because I think Jenkins installation is ready. I set up a username Rajesh. Here Rajesh123, Rajesh123, Rajesh Kumar, email ID DevOps@rajeshkumar.xyz. Save and continue. It says password is not matching, and save and continue. So now my Jenkins is ready, rock and roll. So this is my Jenkins. Let me mention in the notes. So this is my Jenkins. Okay, this is my username. This is my password. Now I will quickly also set it up Jira. Okay, so let's get it with Jira. I think Jira installation is done if you see that. So now it's a matter of me starting up this rest of the things. Download is done, sorry, not installation. And I'm installing the Jira now through this. So okay, yes, 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 yes. The Jira being installed. Now let it get completed. This one, Jira.
Rajesh,
Yes,
this is Sanjay here. Is there a dedicated link where you have only notes uploaded in the website?
yes. The URL is devopsschool.com/notes. Here you can find all of my notes from all last 3 years. Okay guys, so I have got the Jira also done. So let's do the configuration. By the way, Jira runs on 8080 and we have to configure it. Set it up for me. Continue to Atlassian. Get a license. Generate a license. Got the license. Add license. Set it up this devopsschool.com. Rajesh, Rajesh, Rajesh 1 2 3, Rajesh 1 2 3. Next. Now next. And now my Jira is also being set up. So by the way, I kept the same thing here. Rajesh 1 2 3 is a username and password. Okay, so now let's dive further. Sonarqube. Sonarqube is also downloaded. I'm going to extract it, unzip. Unzip, I think it's not there yet. I knew that. Install unzip -y. I need a sudo because I'm a normal user. And if you look at this, I got the unzip Sonarqube. Where is it? Oh no, I got the unzip. I need to do unzip right now. So if I do the unzip here, Sonarqube is there. Now, if Sonarqube runs on one port, anyone remember? 9000. And if you look at this, 9000 port with the web port, which is web server setting is here, and port is here 9000. So that's the default port but it runs. So now let me start Sonarqube being a normal user. So it's Linux 64-bit and here sonar sh start. And now status, it's running. Now my Sonarqube is also running 9000 port. If you go here, 9000. Okay, so let's check it out. So my Jenkins Jira is almost ready to use here. So Sonarqube is also almost got started.
Rajesh,
Yes, please.
Jira, every time we need to register with the new email ID for every instance.
Basically, I got a trial license, right? So a new
Yeah.
IP address every time, new things.
Okay.
So
Because last
yeah,
session we created one Jira, right? We can't use that one with the new instance.
I think no. Every
No.
license is applicable for 30 days, I guess. I
Okay.
think so. Okay, so Sonarqube, I got it, guys. Now I'm going to get the Nexus. Okay, so let's get started. So let's go to the Nexus nodes. Nexus nodes here, and then where is that latest nodes? Here it is. Now Nexus, let's get downloaded. Here this is the Nexus, and here. Okay, so now let's download the Nexus. After downloading the Nexus, you'll have to untar it. And by the way, I made untar at the wrong place. So I want to move this guy to OPT. That's a better way. Now this OPT is my fav location. And this is the Nexus. Now I'll start the Nexus also. Nexus, if you remember from the last session, Nexus getting started at 81 port. So, now status, now it's running. Now I got the Nexus also running 8081. So guys, I got 8081, and this will be having Nexus. I have to just wait for a few more seconds because Nexus just take a little bit more time than expected. What is this? It's running. Okay, am I hitting the wrong IP? Just let me check. Oh, I'm hitting the Jenkins IP address. See, this is my bad. 8081. And here it is. So your Nexus, you got it here, and then admin admin, and password is password, default password, or password, again admin 123. Something is missing. Okay, this is the latest. Okay, this is the latest. This is the latest Nexus. So it's give you the password at certain location, which is here. So admin password, this one. And now I have to reset this password. So password is admin 123, admin 123. Next. So now, in fact, my Nexus is also I have got ready here. admin 1, 2, 3. So I got all these tools installed in one machine. So now why? Because we will integrate with Jenkins. Look at this, Jira, Sonarqube, and all this stuff. So now we got this one, and Ansible is pending, which we'll do at last. So right now our demo environment is ready. We got a Jenkins, we got a Jira, we got a Sonarqube, we got a Nexus. Now we need to spend a little bit of the time on the Jenkins part. Okay, so here let's get back to the Jenkins. This is my Jenkins dashboard. Okay, you can see the first time you see create a new jobs. Okay, so that is the something which you have to do. So now here, remember why we are using Jenkins. We are using Jenkins for integration of all tools, which I'll be doing in some time. But you want to do immediate feedback also, scheduling also, reporting also. So now let's get started. So I'll tell you the secret formula of Jenkins. Secret formula of Jenkins, and you should not share with anyone. Okay. So if you have got on the Jenkins, okay, if you have got on the Jenkins, now you have to configure some jobs. Now, in order to configure the jobs, what are the questions you need to ask to yourself or the one who has given you that job? And if you ask this question to yourself or the person who has given this job to you, this project to you, then setting up the jobs will be much easier. Okay, much easier for you. So now these are the questions you have to ask, and these questions are as it is: what is your technology? What is your technology? Now when we say what is our technology, then it could be Java, it could be .NET, it could be Ruby, it can be Perl, Python, all this thing, right? So anything it can be Python and all the stuff like that. So it can be anything. So what is my technology? That will decide whether in your build server you need compiler or interpreter. Which compiler? Which compiler you need it? Because you need to set up a prerequisite, right? So which compiler and interpreter we need it. Python is an interpreted language, whereas Java and .NET is a compiled language. So which so if you ask this question, okay, what is your project? With this in Java, then you need a JDK. If it's a .NET, you need a .NET. If you need a Ruby, if the project is in Ruby, then you need a Ruby. So this is one thing. Now you need to ask second question. What is your build tool? Builder. Okay, the builder depends on the technology. Okay, if you look at my screen here, and I have shared the one URL very well. See here, for the Java, if I select then build tool, what is that? Maven and Gradle, which is very popular. But if you select the .NET, then again build tool you see MSBuild. If you go for Ruby, then again build tool here Array. So now different technology, different build tool. So right now, what is a builder? So builder, when you say, like say Maven, okay, or MSBuild or anything else like and or something else like a rig. So accordingly you have to find the file of it. So you have to install Maven also. So you ask the compiler technology, then you have to install Java. If you ask the builder, you have to have a build server, you have to Maven, MSBuild or Ant or whatever it is. Then you will ask. Okay, so you got to know this technology, then you got to know what is a builder. That's all. So you are going to call the builders. Automatically the compilations and test and packaging, anything will happen because builders has a automation already in place. Just need to configure it. Next thing you're going to ask, okay, where is your source code? Where is your source code? Because source code is very important, right? Sometimes the source code is in Git, sometimes SVN, sometimes perforce, sometimes CC clear case. So you may be having anywhere. You need to ask source code location. Okay, you need to ask location, password, user ID, password, and all stuff like that. If you know, that's wonderful. If you don't know, then you should know. Okay, why? Because you should get ready, no matter whether you know or not. You should be getting this information ready. So what is your technology? What is your builder? What is your source code? Then you should ask how often this build should be triggered. This build job, whatever you want to say, job to be triggered. They'll say, okay, they will say maybe weekly, maybe daily, maybe every night, every hour. So that information you want it, and then you should ask whom you want to be notified if build failed. Okay, so that's these questions also you're going to ask. Let me say, I say failed. That means you should not spam, successful build. Why to have a spam on the successful build? Because we are using the continuous integration tool. So if anything succeeded, it moves on to the next phases. It moves on the next phase. So if it is a fail, then only people should get the email, and only the culprit should get the email. So those who has committed the last recent changes in that particular build, that person only should get a bill. So these are the few secret questions you are going to ask. Okay, so what is your technology? What is your builder? What is your source code? What is how often you want this build to be triggered, and whom you want to be notified if the build failed. These are the my secret formula to set up any job. Now, with this, if you have this information, then you can set it up the job without any problem. Now, I'll tell you one more thing here. Jenkins Architecture. Okay, Jenkins Architecture. So now you know many things here by now. So now you know what is Jenkins, then we understand what is CI, then we understand how this integration is going to take place, then we understand why Jenkins is needed, and how to install Jenkins, then we install the Jenkins up and running, and you understand the plugins concept as well. Then we got the integration tool like for demo, Jira, Sonarqube, Nexus, Ansible, all these things we got it done. And then we also, I shared with you the secret formula of Jenkins, which you need to make it ready before you set up a job, any job in Jenkins. Now let's talk about the Jenkins architecture. So Jenkins architecture is having something like this: web server and build node. Okay. So now first time when you set up a Jenkins, this is in one server only. Okay. So basically here, when you set up a one Jenkins installation, you get a one web server, okay, and one build node. Now web server by default run on 8080 port, but build nodes randomly it may run on any port, but you can also assign some port also. This is a dependent. So again, we'll set it up separate node, and we'll talk about it. So this is the architecture. So what is? Let me draw pictures of it. So what happens? This is your Jenkins server right now. Okay, in this is divided into, this is a dashboard. Okay? The one which I'm accessing, here. This is a dashboard. See, and now anything we work on the Jenkins dashboard. Okay, so let me create good animation, right? So here we work through dashboard 8080. Now whatever we configure, this has to be done. So dashboard get the job done, for the build, compilation, packaging, deployment, testing, all this thing done in the build node. Okay, this is the build node. Okay, so by default you get a one build node which is called master by default. Okay, so here master build node which you get it, which is by default. So let me show you the build node first. Let's go to the Jenkins, my Jenkins, and here if you go to the manage nodes, see there's one master node is available. So basically anything which you configure by default, that will go to the master node. But the beauty of the Jenkins is it is a distributed. So basically you can add a more node also. This way we call it slave sometime in a Jenkins. So you can add Windows, Linux, Mac. You can add all this thing and you can connect it to the dashboard. Okay, so now the jobs, instead of giving here, you can give it to different servers also. The job parallel job execution also it can be possible, and a lot of things, a lot of features you have, right? So this is the architecture, server and build node client. Okay, so this is the Jenkins architecture. By the way, I have written one blogs on this, DevOpsSchool.com. If you go and if you type here in search Jenkins architecture, and here see Jenkins architecture explained. So now this URL also, if you read later point of the time, you'll get the same detail. Here I have talked about it, a server and node concept, and then some of the images you can find it here. It's a good. So this is the all about that architecture. So do you have any questions so far before moving further? Any questions?
No, no question.
No, Rajesh.
Okay, so now let's start using the secret formula. Okay,
Rajesh,
this is the secret.
sorry to interrupt. I just have a question. My mic was muted. Sorry. Just want to know in your when you initially showed how that the build tools Nexus and all. No, can you just explain that line a little bit? The plan, code, review, and this line, the first line. Yeah.
Okay, so basically this line is basically depiction of your SDLC cycle. Okay, so
Yeah,
any
okay.
requirement which includes feature or bug fixing, you start from the planning, okay, or analyzing. Then you start doing the coding. Then you do the code review. Then you do the build. Then you do the unit testing. Then you package that binaries. Then deploy to repo like a Nexus. Then you move to the QA server, and then you do the acceptance testing, and then code coverage, and finally release. You here I'm not saying every project has to do the same thing, but again typically every project more or less do the same thing, and some projects have more steps, some project has a less steps. Again it depends. Now for each of these things you have a tools. Look at these tools. I've just mentioned one of the tools actually, which is preferred in the Java world. Now the tools may be anything, so that's the reason I said one URL with you. So here you can look at the popular tool which has been used across the different technology. Now the challenges is we have too many tools. Are we having any tool where we can integrate everything at one place? Immediate feedback we can receive. You can schedule the work and all the stuff. So that is the Jenkins here.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
So let's get started. So now the things which we have to do now is applying the secret formula. So now let's apply the secret formula. So right now the secret formula, which is this one, right? So now let's apply. So now first thing, I will have a Java project. Where is your builder? Of course, Maven. Okay, where is your source code? The source code I usually keep it in GitHub. So let's go to the GitHub and we can use this. Here sample program is there. Now, how often this build will trigger? Let's say daily. And whom you notified if the build is failed? Myself. DevOps @ Rajesh Kumar .xyz. So this is the things. Now let me tell you here Java. And if you recall, I have a build node already. And in order to Jenkins to run, I already installed the Jenkins in the same node. Sorry, Java in the same node. So now technology is Java, which is installed in my node itself, which is this node. Right now, what is a Maven? Maven is installed. Maven is installed. It's not installed. No problem. We will install. Now, where is the source code? This is the source code. Do you need a user ID and password? No, it's open source repository. Now it's a public repository. And daily and this one. So let's get started and setting up this job on Jenkins. So here, create new job. Now, what is the job? I'll name it. Let's say Maven. That's the best way. Now, till you get comfortable with the Jenkins, always use the Freestyle project. It has all the options. But again, if you go into the advanced topic and then many more customized view, if you want, you can go for the pipeline, multi configuration projects, and all the stuff. Multi branch pipeline also you can try it out. So Freestyle, click OK. Now, let me tell you here. All the fields which you can see on this form is optional. Okay, so none of these are compulsory. That's the reason I said you have to remember my secret formula, because everything is optional. So you set it up or not set it up, it's up to you. Now you see that hell lot of options you get it, but it's pretty self-explanatory. If you look at this, these are the tabs. Source code management will go here. Trigger options, how often you want the build to be triggered, will go here. Environments related things will go here. Build related things will go here, and post build action will go under this one. So it's a self-explanatory. Again, if you some of the option which you don't know, click on this question mark and you can get the detailed explanation of each of this thing. Right now, let's stick to the program. So here Java is installed, that is done, and then I'm going to set up the project here. So look at this source code management. And third thing, how often this build to be triggered? I want this build to be triggered here, build periodically option and daily. This is the cron type, by the way. If you don't know this cron type, you can look at this here. You have a good tutorials out here, but I want this to be daily, so I'll put it as shortcut for the cron type, which is given by Jenkins itself. This is the one, daily.
It depends upon how much changes are they doing, right?
Yes. Okay, now daily and whom you want to be notified. So here let's do the build things here. What you want. So build is in Maven, remember. So here you have to go to the Maven builder, and if your builder is not there, you have to do that. And what you want, compile. Okay, so this is also done. Post build action, what you want, send an email. So here send an email, and this email to be sent to this one. Okay, save. I set it up, build now. And now build got failed. Let me tell you here, if you want to become a successful DevOps engineer, you have to build the skills of troubleshooting. And if you build the skills of troubleshooting, you'll be the best DevOps engineer. So if you look at the build log 1, click on it, and you see that console output. And here you see failure. So basically what you expected here, first thing what you expected here, I configure the job but without a logic. So what is expected here? So here typically let's try to do manual stuff. Manual. And through Jenkins. If you do it manually, first thing what you will do, install JDK and set up Java Home. This is the manual process. Okay, that's Java is done. Then you will install Maven, and sorry for typo, just ignore it. Then M2 home. Most of the typo, please ignore it because I'm not focusing on that. And then clone the source code. So install git and git clone URL. And then you go into the git repo and then mvn and compile. Because you set the Maven here, JDK here, mvn compile will happen. And then finally, you're going to send mail to manually to DevOps@Rajesh Kumar. This is a manual activity. Okay. Out of which this is the three things is a one-time setup in the build server, and this you have to do every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, daily, hourly. Okay, so you have to clone, and before that also you have to do that one cleanup. So git, you can say like this. You can do rm-rf. Basically, you can do the cleanup here, clone here. So this is the typical manual process we do in order to build. Do we think so? Do we do that?
No.
Right? Correct? Did you understand this manual step?
Yes, Rajesh.
Yeah. So now the same thing you have to get it done through Jenkins. Now here you set it up this, or you have to set it up this one in the build server, and this one will be done by Jenkins. This one will be done by Jenkins. Okay. So first thing, do you have environment ready? If you look at the log here, install the JDK, but you see could not initiate. So git cloning was trying to happen, but could not initiate. Why? Because git init do not perform. Why? Because cannot run the program git. So git is not installed in this machine. So let's install. So git yum install git, and now yes, I'm installed it. So now Jenkins will do the cloning part. So git, I got it. So git, I got it. Maven build now, and here build number 2. Build number 2 is also filled. But let's look at the console output. And if you look at the console output, I see the checkout has happened. The question is where the checkout has happened. If you look at this, building in workspace, this is your workspace where the build will happen. You want to browse that build workspace, click on this workspace. See here. Here the source code has come. I see that. So source code has come in workspace. You can go manually and check in the directory as well. The source code has come. But the next problem is Maven cannot run. So here I set it up Maven compile. Remember, I set it up the Maven compile in the build option. So Maven is not installed. Okay. So what to do? Again, Maven installation. But here is a problem. If I set up Maven, one version, then there'll be fight, because I have a list of people. They say someone says I need a Maven 2.5, someone say I need Maven 2.8, someone says Maven 3.0, 3.5. So different people, different developer community ask me different Maven. The question is, at system level, I can set only one Maven at a time, right? Either here, just like I set up a Git, if you see that version which I set it up, it's just one version, 1.8.3, which is being used by everyone. How can I set up a multiple? So this is where you can take a help from Jenkins. So Jenkins has a capability to set up a multiple tools, and also multiple tools can be used for the individual project. The question is how. Let's do that. So here I go to the manage Jenkins, and here you see there's an option, global tools configuration. So that means if you read this, configure tools and their location and automatic installer. So here every tools you can configure basically. So you can including the Git and JDK also. See here, git dedicate, git gradle, and Maven Docker. Now you must be wondering, where's my tool? My tool is not there in the list. No problem. You install the plugin, you get it. Simple. So because these plugins got installed as part of the suggested plugin, so I got these options. So here, let me focus on the Maven. Add Maven, and now there's a two way to install it. One is like manual. If you copy the Maven inside this directory, you can set up Maven home path, or automatic installer. That means Jenkins will download from the Apache website. So now, which version you want? Let's say I want the 3.6. So let's name it Maven 361. You want more Maven to be installed? Let's go and add more Maven. So here, which one you want? Let's say 3.5.0. So Maven 350. So this way, you can set up a multiple version of the tools at Jenkins level, and you can use it in the jobs. So I set it up the 2 Maven, by the way. The moment you set it up the 2 Maven over there, you come to Maven, configure, and you see, go to the build option where we set up the Maven compile. See, this option got enabled. And then here, you got the 2 option, 5, 6, 7. So anyone
Rajesh is installing where the Jenkins is installed, right? On the same server?
Yeah. Yeah. It will be installing the place where the Jenkins is installed. But when you have a nodes configure, then at that time also it will get installed in the nodes also. Okay. So now I selected one of the Maven and click save. And here it is. Now build now. Now you see that build third is in progress. Console output, see, checkout has happened. Maven is doing the build. It will take few minutes because the first time build, you know, it will download all the dependent libraries, and you can see that it's downloading. See, downloading. So this is the way it will send the Maven. The last thing which you have, send an email to DevOps@rajeshkumar.com. So let me tell you here, notes, Jenkins is not eligible to send an email. Okay, Jenkins is not at all eligible to send an email. So who is eligible? SMTP. Yeah. So what you have to do, this Jenkins will not be able to send an email until you set up SMTP. So where to set up SMTP? Go to the Jenkins, manage Jenkins, and configure system. And here you can provide SMTP information. Yeah? Here if you go here and look at this option here, see extended email here. So email notification SMTP server. So you can give the SMTP information to this location, and then Jenkins will be sending an email also. Okay. So this is the introduction about Jenkins job. Now here I set it up this job, by the way, daily. If you look at this, so here you see the name of the job, how much time it took, last failure, duration of the builds, and again you see the this cloudy. That means cloud means it depicts like, okay, this sometime build is passing, sometime failing, is not that stable. But if you see the shiny cloud, then that means that job, that project is stable. Okay, so this is the way you can set it up as Jenkins job. So now what I'm going to do here, I set it up this, I follow the formula, and you can, using this formula, you can set it up any number of projects, any number of jobs. Okay, make sense? Any questions?
Rajesh, the question is like, why did you set up another server where you installed all the tools?
Why did I set up another server where did I install all the tools? This one?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to integrate, right, in Jenkins. So I need to have up and running, right, these tools.
Okay.
Integration. Remember Sonarqube with Jenkins, Nexus with Jenkins, Jira with Jenkins, right?
This is, may I ask you that question? Maybe it doesn't come with like a plugins, right? It is all separate softwares.
When I say plugins, now this is a good question you ask actually. What is plugin? Okay, what is plugins? Okay, So understand the concept of plugins or component or extension. Okay, so see here, there's a tool 1. Okay, tool 1, and now he wants to talk to tool 2. Okay, in a simple way, let's say you wants to talk to Git. You are a tool 1 right now, and Git is a tool 2. Now, how would you able to talk? Talk means use the functionality of Git on Git. How will you be able to do that? If you know the command, correct? You know the command, okay? And this command and the purpose you know, and then this command you send to Git, and Git runs that command and give you the response. Don't you think so? Right? Get a response. Now, these tools can be anywhere. So now coming back to the question, what is plugin? Plugin is nothing but a collection of commands through APIs. Okay, through command line or API, CMD, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so it's nothing but a collection of commands. Now, these commands, these plugins will be applied on the tools like let's say you want to integrate you want to integrate here Jenkins with Jira. So you have to have a Jira plugin. So Jira plugin will be having Jira commands, which Jenkins will be knowing. So Jenkins can hit that command to the Jira, and Jira will respond to that with the output. So that is what I'm talking about here. So plugins is not a tool. Plugins is not a tool at all. Plugin is not a tool at all. It is a collections of command of that particular tool. Make sense?
But how Jenkins is communicating to the other server? It will show that.
I'll show you. I made to come to that topic.
Okay.
I'll show you. Integration is not at all started. I'm just created the infrastructure.
Okay.
Right?
I have go ahead.
I didn't understand the master and node concept. What is master and what is nodes in Jenkins? Master is controller and the nodes are just to add.
Okay. Now the question you should ask, why we have server and client model, right? Where server is a web server and client is a node, right? Why do we have it? So let me give you the visualization. Quick visualization, quick reason for it, why we have it. So one of the reasons, though there can be multiple reasons, but one of the reasons is, let's say I have a one job, I have a two job. Okay, I have a two job. Now two job need to be built hourly. Okay, now hourly, and then each job takes 1 hour to build. Now, when each job takes 1 hour to build, then how many, if you start building two jobs at a time, then how many hours required as per your calculation in a day? 48 hours, right?
Yeah.
Here, one job, 1 hour to build. Okay, so that means two job. I mean, one job you want to build hourly, so it takes 1 hour to build, so 24 hours, and two job is 48 hours, correct? Now the expectation is whereas the expectation is 1 day, or let's say half a day. You don't want to the expectation, you want the results to be in 1 day itself rather than next day, because 48 hours is become 2 days. So what to do? Having here one node where you are doing the work, let's extend one more node. So now we'll get the 1 day. Now if you want both the job to be finished in a half day, then you add a 2 more node. So this is the way to extend the capability of the build nodes, so you can do the parallel builds, parallel deployments, and much more actions and less waiting wastage. So if you have gone through my DevOps videos, waiting wastage is one of the major wastage in our DevOps in order to reach to the DevOps. So waiting you can avoid by adding few more nodes, and then you get a feedback as soon as possible. Make sense?
Yeah. How do you create the nodes, like on the console
That's
itself?
pending topic. That's a pending topic.
Okay.
I'll come back to it. So you asked the question, so I just answered. One more reason which you can do, let's say one job you want to build in the Linux. So you will have a Linux node. One job you want to, let's say .NET. .NET only you have to build in the Windows. You have in the Windows something you have to do only in the Mac. So you will have a Mac. So like this, you can have a different nodes for the different capabilities. Make sense?
Yeah.
There's so many reasons for it. Okay, guys. So now what we did talk about, what is Jenkins, what is CI, again, why Jenkins, and then how to install. Then we install some of the tools also, Ansible, and we also learn the secret formula of Jenkins and apply that formula. You can set it up any jobs. Now let's try to figure it out other functionality of the Jenkins. So now one of the major functionality which you can see here, scheduling. Okay, so here scheduling using Jenkins. Okay, this is the major functionality we have. So Jenkins has many method to schedule your job. Let's say this is your job and many method. So those are the method. If you look at this in the build trigger, here it is. Okay, build trigger. If you look at this, these are the method which you have. Okay, using that you can figure your build. So I think the copy paste didn't happen properly. Build periodically and GitHub polling. Okay, so I think this is the one. Now these are the method where which you can schedule the any jobs. So let's get started. So first method which you want to use it, let's say on specific time. If you want to have a certain specific time, let's say daily, weekly, monthly, all these things, or maybe at 5 p.m., 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m., like that. So specific time, then you can use build periodically. Okay, build periodically. Now this options which I tried just now, you have a certain tutorials also. You can just go through that. You can set it up periodically. Now this is a simple. Now you can trigger a build from the remote location also. So that means trigger a build from script or a remote location. Okay, so how can you do that? So for this you have to use an option called trigger build remotely. This is not as straightforward as build periodically is. Okay, because here you have to do the many setup. So now how to get this done? So I have a dedicated tutorial for it. If you go, so this option tutorial where Jenkins and see here this one. So this is the options. So basically here, if you follow this tutorial, okay, again it has a step-by-step instruction to how to trigger a build from the remote locations. Okay, now here build after other projects are built. This I will show you the demo now. So now the question is very simple. This is a job. Sir, anyone? Arthik, can you mute yourself because some noise is coming from your side. Arthik? Arthik? Okay, so now this is the setup. So build after other projects are built. So here you see build after other projects are built. So here, if you look at this, this is a job 1, okay, and this is a job, okay. So now what I want, this job to be built only if this job was built sometime. So the moment this job built, automatically it should trigger this job. So how can you do that? So let me set up the 2 job first. So here I'm setting up the job. So leave this here, new job, let's say job 1, and freestyle, click OK, and I fill nothing because I'm just doing the flow. And here I create a job 2, and freestyle, click OK, and save it. Now I got the 2 job. So now, as per the discussion, I want the job 2 to be trigger only if the job 1 is built. So what I will do, I'll go to the job 2 and go to the configuration option, go to the build trigger options, and here I will select build after other projects are built, and select the job 1 and say build only if the stable and some more rules are there. Okay, done. So now I configure the job 2. So this will be triggered automatically. Remember, there is no build here right now. And now I'll build job 1. Build now. Build now got succeeded because they were nothing. And now you see that build job 2 also got triggered after that. Okay. So this is the way you can have that scenarios also. Okay. Now, poll SCM. This is the interesting thing. Here, understand that poll SCM, what happens? Poll SCM, what happens? SCM means what? It's a Git, it's a SVN, it's a Bitbucket, GitHub, Peercase, Perforce. So these are the SCM tools, source code management tool. So now here, what is happening? This is a Git, this is a Jenkins. Okay, this is a Jenkins, and this is your SCM tool. Okay, now remember, you have already configured SCM related information in your source code management. Here you already set, if it is a credential, you set it up here also, everything you set it up. So what basically Jenkins will be doing, Jenkins at a certain time, okay, so if you set this one poll SCM at certain time, the time which you have specified, see, time you specified, okay, depends on you, at certain time it will go and poll the SCM for the new commit. See, because Jenkins knows, let me remember, Jenkins knows what was the last checkout you did and what is the last commit you did. See here, there's no changes, but if you look at this, Jenkins knows your build data. See, get build data. See here. So this is the revision which Git has checked out last time. So Jenkins knows about your what is the last commit. So they will try to pull the SCM tool and they will find it out. Do we have any other additional commit? If there is an additional commit, then only trigger will happen. If there is no additional commit, no Jenkins will be built, no jobs will be built. So that is the important feature. So let me do one thing. Let me set up the Jenkins here, that option. So what I'm going to do, configuration, and now this time pool SCM, and here I'm setting up per minute. Okay, so for per minute, I'm going to set just a second, cron Jenkins cron per minute. Okay, so quickly you get it, and the answer is this one. Okay, so this is the cron tab. Now you get it per minute. Where is that? Really like it. Sorry. And here this will trigger per minute. The moment you store, you see that here. You can see that your build will trigger at this. Save it. Now remember your build number 4 is there, and we wait for few seconds. Automatically it will be build 4 number. Only if there is changes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a changes here. So let's go to the GitHub. Where's the GitHub? GitHub is here. Let's do the changes. So readme.txt is the one which is my fab, and where I do the changes, little bit of the changes. devopsschool.com. Commit. Oh, I have to give the messages. I forgot to give the messages. So I commit. It's a bad practice, but it's okay. The commit has done. See, just now I did the commit. Committed now. Okay. And okay. And now you see that. Refresh. Automatically, after a few seconds, will come back and then see the job. Now, this is the poll SCM. It will poll and build will happen. Poll SCM, but at certain time, but build will happen only when there is a SCM changes. There are SCM changes. Okay, so this is the one. Now here, GitHub hook trigger for Git. What is this? This is complicated actually. So go to see. So just a second. Yeah. So you see that build number 4 has automatically happened. So if you see the after a few minutes, it will not happen. So build 3 was there, build 4 has happened. Now let's talk about the fifth option, which is.
So Rajesh, one question.
Just a second. Let me complete this one.
Okay.
Yeah. And here you have this option which is called GitHub hooks trigger for GitHub SCM pooling. This is the one. So now here Jenkins is helpless actually. See here what is saying. GitHub hook trigger for Git SCM pooling. So what is happened here? Understand that Jenkins is helpless. Why? Because here this is a Jenkins and this is a GitHub. Let's say GitHub. Okay. Now what happens? This is you working and pushing the code here. So when you push here, okay, understand the flow. If you push here, okay, again read it. Hook trigger for SCM pooling, Git SCM pooling. What happens when you push here? Okay, one more time, just a second. There's one more options where there. Okay, that's all. Okay, so when you push here, then GitHub will detect that push because you got a changes. At that time, you want to validate that build, that code also. So that GitHub should trigger that job. GitHub should trigger that job. Okay, so here Jenkins is helpless. It's like a GitHub will trigger a job, so it can be a trigger from the GitHub hooks also, service hooks. So now what you have to do? Here you have to make a changes in the GitHub actually. So whenever there is a pull detected, they will trigger the URL here, and that will do the job. That will trigger a job. And for that, it's again not a few steps. It's a little bit, multiple steps it's involved. So now if you're using GitHub, then you can use this tutorial. GitHub. Do you see some GitHub somewhere? Aha. So here you have a GitHub, and I do have a Bitbucket also, which is here. So this is the 2 tutorial I have written for this. Here, if you have a GitHub and Bitbucket, just follow this tutorial, and if you find any problem, confusion or something, you can just write it and email to the DevOps support group. I'll respond to it. Okay. So now these are the scheduling options which you have in the Git. Okay. Now the most important topic which is pending still, if you remember. So scheduling I have completed. Now if you see, most important topic which is pending, and that is integration, because this is I have just completed integration is still pending, and then feedback we'll talk about it. So here that is important. The integration of all the tool is important. So this is what I'm going to cover now. Yes, now question time. Please ask me a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the scheduling using Jenkins. So what are the scenarios that these different scheduling options are selected? Like, can you just give an
Scenarios?
example?
Which scenario you're talking about?
No, I mean there is like poll SCM build after other projects are built. Like, I mean there are use cases for this, right? Can you just explain on that?
There's no huge cases. Why you need a huge cases for this scenario? Simple.
No,
The
I
question
mean
is very simple.
in my
Simple.
yeah.
Wait. The question is very simple. When is the expected delivery and how? Okay, just a second, guys. Someone is just knocking my door. Just a second. Give me. Yeah, sorry for that. Yeah, so the question is very simple. It's not a huge cases. Why do we need a huge cases for it? You decide or you ask a project, when is the expected output delivery you want? How you want? You want at certain time, or you want someone who push the code into the SCM and then you want that build to be happen? These are the complete scenario, only the one which I given. You want build after one project to be built. If some project got built, then you want to build, or you want to poll, and then if there's changes and then only build, or GitHub is triggering this build. So these are the scenarios. So you're not getting these points?
Yeah. Based on the project requirement, I mean this build.
Yes. They have given you all options. Now you ask a project guys, or maybe you ask yourself when you want the output. Jenkins is not creating a here use cases for it. They gave you options, you use it based on your requirement. Okay, so now we will move on to the next topic, which is called integration. So I'm going to show you the Jenkins integration with all these tools which we discuss, and then creating a pipeline. Okay, and immediate feedback. Okay, this is the important things, immediate feedback. So we will have an integration, then we'll move on to the immediate feedback options, and then I'll also talk about some of the advanced feature of Jenkins which we have, and I'll try to cover.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Want to study further? Subscribe to our paid membership to get a deep dive into each and every topic. Do look out for more videos in our playlist and subscribe to our DevOps School channel and hit the bell icon to learn more. Keep learning.